Hi class. I thought I would go ahead and make a quick video about the PMT table practice assignment. Whether you have completed this or have not started it, this will be a nice follow-up to how this function works. So as a reminder, the PMT function is not included in your e-text, so everything you need to know about the PMT function is inside this particular worksheet called PMT practice. So over here on the right, I have all the information on how the PMT function works, the three different arguments that we need to talk about, how to solve for them, as well as two additional formulas called total value of loan and bank profit. You will see in upcoming assignments that bank profit will sometimes be referred to as total interest, and that does mean the same thing. So I'm going to kind of take you through this assignment and what some of my expectations were. So the first thing I wanted you to do was go ahead and replace all of the blue shaded cells with functions and formulas. So right here I'm looking for you to insert a function that actually pulls the current date and time. And you can find that on the formula ribbon under the date and time library. And there are two functions I always like to talk about. There's one called today, which will just give me the date. And there's one called now, which gives me the date and time. And all I have to do is click on it. It requires no arguments. I click OK, and I get the date and time. And so, of course, whenever you're viewing this video, your date and time will look different than the time that this was created. All of the instructions in all of my Excel assignments that I create always come within the Excel worksheet. So you'll see down here at the bottom it says solve for all the blue shaded cells using the correct functions and formulas. Just as a reminder, a function is something that Excel has written for you, such as PMT and sum, and a formula is something you write yourself. So down here, total value of loan and bank profit, those are actual formulas. So I know the assignment very well, so I know that I need to do some formatting. So the first thing I wanted to do was I want to actually make the interest rate look like a percentage, so I can come up to the home ribbon, apply percent. Now if you look, if I click on this cell, 5%, you'll see that it actually is 4.5%, but it doesn't show as 4.5% unless I tell Excel to show multiple decimal places. So I can increase that by 2. The other thing I want to do is the loan amount is $40,000, and so I definitely want to show that as money, and so we can apply accounting number style. So the first thing we're asked to solve is the PMT, the monthly payment, and we're going to use the PMT function for that. And the whole power of Excel is that you can create or write these formulas and functions one time and then use the fill handle to copy them across or down your worksheet. And that will only work if you use cell referencing. So the monthly payment solves if you were to take out a loan from a bank and you pay that loan back. If I were going to, in this case, I'm borrowing $40,000 from Bank of America, and they are giving me 15 years to pay that back, and they are charging me an interest rate of 4.5%. So I have to pay money to borrow money. That's how our world works. I know that the length of the loan is years because the term amortization means years. So the biggest thing you need to remember when solving the PMT function is that everything must be in months. So if I don't give you the data in months, you are going to convert it to months. And we're going to do that here in this worksheet. So with the PMT function, I'm going to go ahead and click the Insert Function option, and I'm going to search for PMT. I just can type in PMT, I can click Go, and it gives me every function that uses PMT in some form or another. I'm going to double click that, and I'm going to move this out of the way so I can see everything. What's really nice about this function dialog box is that when you click in each one of these arguments, you can look down here at the bottom, and it's going to tell you what you need and actually how to solve it. So in this case, I need an interest rate. And it's telling me in the example here, if I have I would use 6% divided by 4 for quarterly payments. That means 4 times a year. So in this case, my interest rate for the Bank of America loan is 4.5%. I will never type in a number if I can reference it in a worksheet. That is how you are able to use the fill handle. So with the PMT function, at this point you want to stop and ask yourself, is this interest rate in months or in years? And I know it's years because it says it right here in the worksheet. So to convert that to months, I will divide that by 12, which is something you learned about in the PMT quiz video. The next argument is NPER, and this is the total number of payments for the loan. How many checks will you write the bank? If I know that my loan lasts 15 years, well, I'm not going to write 15 checks. I'm going to write 1 check a month for 12 months for 15 years. So I'm going to multiply that years by 12, and I can convert that to months, and you'll see that says 180. The last one is PV. That's the easiest one to pick up. That's the present value of the loan. It's how much money you borrowed. We also know that the PMT function calculates a negative number because it's money owed. So I know I need to convert a negative number to a positive number, and I can multiply that by -1. So I can just throw a minus symbol right there in front of the PV. And you'll see right here, I'm getting the estimate of $305. When I click OK, I get the $306. So I'm going to write a check for $306 every month for 12 months for 15 years. That is what the total value of the loan is. And you'll see that I have that formula right here, total value of the loan. So all you have to do is to write a formula. So we type equal, and I know I'm going to write a check for $306. So I click on the B6 times 12 months. Now I'm typing in the 12 here because I don't have that number anywhere in my worksheet. So that is an instance where you would type in a number. And it's the same value across the worksheet. So I'm going to write a check for 306, which is represented by B6 times 12 months times 15 years. I get $55,000. And then the last one, bank profit, which will also sometimes be called total interest, is how much money did the bank make from me? Well, that's easy. That's just subtraction. So it's going to be equal the total amount minus how much I borrowed, which is $15,000. Now you will see I wrote a function and 2 formulas for Bank of America, and because I use cell referencing, here is the power. I can select all 3 of these cells and then use the fill handle to copy them. It's like magic, but not really. It's just Excel. And the real power of using that cell referencing is if I came back into this worksheet and I said, well, the Wells Fargo loan wasn't for 20 years, it's for 25 years. If I press enter, I type in that 25, I get totally a new updated set of values. So that is truly what that what if scenario is about. So hopefully this will help you with the PMT function. Remember, you will have additional assignments using PMT, so if you have any questions, you should come back to this video as well as this worksheet because these are the notes for the PMT function. Thank you.